Swipe fees are inflation multipliers. Let me say that again. Swipe fees are inflation multipliers. Now, I'm honored to join this committee to fight for hardworking Americans and Main Street businesses across America. And today, I urge this committee to choose Main Street over Wall Street, to stand with American consumers instead of multi-billion-dollar corporations. Now, here's the facts. The average American family spends over $1,100 annually on swipe fees, $1,100. In the United States, swipe fees are over 9 times higher than in the EU, 4 times higher than China, and twice that of Canada. Last year alone, the retailers paid over $170 billion in swipe fees. For small businesses, these fees are second only to labor cost, often exceeding utilities or even health care expenses for their employees. Meanwhile, the average credit card interest rate has soared to 24%. 24% interest rate on your credit cards, and late fees have added another $14 billion of cost to consumers. When it's all said and done, for retailers and consumers, together the cost is almost $300 billion annually, which amounts to over $2,200 per family. Additionally, Visa operates as a virtual monopoly. At least that's what the DOJ is accusing them of, working in tandem with MasterCard, partnering with a number of Wall Street mega banks, and thus controlling over 80% of the market. Is there anything fair about this? Now, there are some misconceptions being spread by opponents of this legislation, and I'd like to set the record straight. First misconception, that this is a price cap on transaction fees. Nothing could be further from the truth. In reality, our bill does not impose price caps. There's no price caps. Instead, it requires issuing banks to offer a second processing platform, which is not Visa or MasterCard. This is going to create competition in the market, which is currently dominated by Visa and MasterCard. Increased competition will reduce costs, which will then be passed on to consumers. Misconception number 2. The legislation compromises security. The opposite is actually true. Our bill increases security for the bank and the consumer. The issuing bank gets to choose the second processor. The issuing bank does, and they'll ensure that they'll select a reliable and secure platform. Additionally, we exclude platforms like China UnionPay and all other non-US based entities. Our bill will actually enhance security by encouraging the adoption of modern, cyber-safe systems, including end-to-end encryption. Misconception 3, this will harm small banks. As the chairman pointed out, we exempt lending institutions with assets under $100 billion, meaning only 30 of the largest financial institutions are affected. Only 30 institutions are affected. Misconception 4, rewards will disappear. In reality, everyone needs to realize that Visa and MasterCard don't issue the rewards. The banks issue the rewards, and it's a marketing game for them. Rewards programs are a tool banks use to attract customers. That's not went away in other countries that have already adopted swipe fee reforms as well. Misconception number 5. The technology doesn't exist to support multiple platforms. Again, that's simply false. There are dozens of competitive networks out there that routinely process debit transactions, and even JP Morgan Chase recently launched a credit card in France with 2 processing platforms. Now, a quick point. I'm especially grateful for this committee allowing the topic to be debated today. We've repeatedly asked, in fact, begged the Banking Committee to hold a hearing, and they haven't answered our request, and I'll let you all decide why. And then I want everyone on the committee to know this. We did a professional survey of several issues back home. Now, this was not a push poll. It was a professional survey. Over 10,000 people returned the survey, and what were the findings? Not 70, not 80, not 90. 96% of the people on this survey support our credit card bill. 96%. And I have to add, when the opponents of this bill have spent over $80 million attacking myself and the chairman and this bill, that's over twice what was spent against me in a Senate race. You know that you're over the target. Let's be clear, whether it's inflation or sales taxes, or in this case, swipe fees, when those go up, consumers ultimately pay the price. The retailers pass those expenses on to consumers. It's that simple. Now, kind of wrapping things up, at my heart, I'm a hands-off, free market capitalist. But capitalism without competition leads to unchecked greed the exploitation of hardworking Americans, and the erosion of opportunity. Now, I remind everyone that American credit card debt is at an all-time high of over $1 trillion. Unless you feel sorry for these monopolies, MasterCard enjoys a profit margin of over 44% and Visa over 55%. So I ask everyone on this committee and in Congress, why would we stand by and allow Wall Street monopolies to siphon more and more money from our communities back home to enrich themselves? Why wouldn't we, as Teddy Roosevelt once said, try and get everyone, every American, a square deal? When faced with the choice, I'll always side with Main Street over Wall Street and working Americans over monopolistic corporations. Let's all take this opportunity to stand up for the people who get paid by the hour and carry a lunch pail to work.